Do you know anything about the people that built that house?
Well, the Elverson Mason built that home. It was one of the first homes in here. And
So was he the owner of the place? Or was
yeah, they bought this property, and that's when about 40 years ago, 45. And that's when all this property was developed.
He was the only one here. This was all his.
And then they started building homes in here, and then industry came in here in 2005. But it doesn't get any better than this, does it?
No. I haven't found it anywhere if it does.
I love to watch the seabirds, and a lot of times they're all out there together and hanging out, flying off. It's fun to see. Mostly western gulls are down there. I don't see any pelicans today.
There's one out the Silver Road. Some fellow wanted to buy that lot that's in the Cove as you're going up the trail.
What was it now?
He wanted to buy that lot that was in there. He wanted to build on it next to the fellow who used to own the Wave, the bar.
Yeah.
But he believes that Sir Francis Drake actually stopped at Little Whale Cove, and he has his book, and he did have the heart to tell him probably not so, not true.
Well, I wrote some fiction about that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, on my blog. Yeah, and I made up a story about Sir Francis Drake.
Uh-huh.
And then another one I made up about, I used Captain Jack, what's his name on that movie?
Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean or whatever it was.
Yeah, so, but I call them something else. You'll have to read it. And what I did is told a story about the shipwreck out here and how the pirate ship, they were bringing some smuggling booze in there. And the ship sunk off that point down there. And then they all had to swim in. Some of them died. The ship sank. And they swam into Big Whale Cove and met up with Chief Depot. Because we did have a Silet's Chief Depot here. So I put a lot of different things in. Where do you think Sir Francis Drake landed?
California.
There's a lot of, maybe it's just folklore, but there's a lot of stories about Sir Francis Drake coming up here.
But he would have claimed it, though. He would have put his, deal for England, saying that he was on this longitude or latitude, and he didn't do that. This is down at 35 is all the history stuff we have of him saying.
Yeah. Well, maybe you're right. You know how we, I write these stories, and it's very clear that they're fiction, but people read that.
It becomes truth. Just like all the stuff they used to tell us at school that isn't true anymore. It wasn't even true at that time, but we thought it was true.
Well, and the other thing that they told lies about is the whole Native American thing. We didn't get to learn about that.
Yeah. They were never called chiefs. They never had that kind of hierarchy. And the Indians never had it.
How did they describe it?
You were just what they looked up to. Like you were the elder. You were the one that...
The medicine man.
No, he was different. He's the one who took care of you. But say you were a good hunter or something. Then you were the one who provided or told us what to do, how to do it. Or say you were the one who kept on finding, okay, now this is the time the berries are good, the deer are good. You were the guide. You take us over there and tell us, okay, now it's time we're going to harvest the buffalo or we're going to harvest the fish coming up. Everybody had a different role in it. But most of them were just like a nucleus around the family members. It would be the family, maybe an uncle or an aunt together. And that's how they're just little groups. Because they couldn't all come together and survive. There wasn't any farming or anything like that, and you just had to get the food off the land.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You didn't rape and pillage anything.
Not here. Other places they did after they were there a long time, and they'd only started doing the other stuff after you started farming, when you didn't have to be always every constant hour to try to find food. And once you got shelter food, then you could go off and do other stuff.
Well, there's a lot of history with the Silet's tribe here, and they all lived here around the coast.
Yep.
And then we pushed them into Silet's, up there by Moonshine Park, and Judy and I have been up there, and I just don't like the way the Native Americans were treated as I learned more about them.
Oh yeah, it's not. They were used for a purpose, like President and General Andrew Jackson used them to fight his war, and then he'd send them off to prison after they got done. Sent them down to Florida, took away all their promised stuff. And after the Little Bighorn, they ran all of those Indian scouts that they had.
Crazy Horse was
During that time, man, they went to prison too. When they went to the reservation, they took their rifles and that away
That's
from
the
them.
prison. Yeah,
Yep.
that's unfortunate.
That's
We
what
have
they
that
have for
history.
traders. These traders. The Sioux were really bad for that, or the Crow rather. They had always been beat on by the others, so they got even with them. As long as we don't break your camera.
So I'm talking to my neighbor, Mike, and he's telling us a little bit about his history with Native Americans, and I'm really enjoying it. So there's Mike, my neighbor. Thank you, Mike.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
See you later.